offer you a nice new early greetings and for those of you in the United States, warm greetings on this day. We're offering thanks, and nice to see your names and the greetings here on the chat. And so, so there's a lot of people, many of you I know, many of you names I've seen frequently, and it's very nice. And it's nice to see the locations you are in all over. Some of you I know have been to our retreat center. I've been on retreat with you. It's been a very wonderful thing to do. And some of you, maybe someday you'll come on a retreat. All the chats disappeared for me. I don't know what that is. I wonder if I'm there. Oh, there's back. So again, good day and welcome to all of you on this day of giving thanks. And one of the things I am very grateful for is my meditation practice, this practice of being present. And I feel like I do feel it's a gift. Not only is the practice a gift, I feel very fortunate to have received this gift in my lifetime. And I feel very fortunate for what seems to move through or arise as I sit. And it leads to a kind of deep gratitude to life, to being alive, to breathing, to all that makes it possible for me to be alive and safe enough and quiet enough to be able to sit in meditation and to open the mind, open the heart, metaphorically at least when I'm sitting, open my hands, be open-handed in this world, open-hearted, open-minded. And it just seems like such a fortuitous, fortunate thing to have this ability, this capacity, this opportunity to do this kind of practice. And so when I bow at the end of a sitting, it's often for me an expression of gratitude, because I learned early on that it was good to express it. It was almost like, it'd be hard not to. Some emotions we feel come to fulfillment when they are expressed in some form. And I feel gratitude is one of those that needs some expression, some movement that goes maybe beyond oneself. Gratitude for me is an experience that there's something beyond my personal ideas of self, my ideas of my agency, ideas of my all kinds of things that are operating here. Maybe in Buddhism we call the Dharma, and to sit and open to this wider kind of. Some people might call it transpersonal. Some people might call it the deepest, most intimate place that's non-personal. Because, and whether it's transpersonal or deeper than personal, whatever it is, it gives birth to gratitude. So we'll sit today, and maybe gratitude can be not far away. Maybe we can begin by considering, in spite of the difficulties that many of us have in our lives, and difficulties that might not be far away as we sit to meditate, illnesses and injuries and all kinds of things, that still I wonder what that is. There's a beeping. It's probably a car outside. I don't know if you can hear it. Maybe if you hear it, maybe it's a little mindfulness bell. I'm going to take a look anyway, see what I can. Okay, so it's a car. It doesn't. So let's begin. And to assume a meditation posture that allows you to spend a little bit of time to appreciate being in a comfortable posture, maybe a safe posture, maybe a posture that can be an appreciation for this body that does so much for us, supports us so much. And gently close the eyes. And it's not so far-fetched to be grateful for what supports our life, for what we receive. And with every breath, we receive the oxygen that is essential for our living. For every exhale, we're freeing ourselves from gases which would be problematic if they built up within us. To receive gratefully with every breath. And every sensation you have in your body is in part a consequence of the food you've eaten that generates the energy for this whole neural system to operate, that allows us to feel and sense this body. And we have a mind, even for all its challenges it provides us, still gets us through a day. The mental processing that's so sophisticated that we hardly know it's operating, that's needed for us to get around the basic activities of daily life happening. So much of it happens unconsciously, kind of effortlessly at times. To sit here, finding gratitude in every breath, appreciation and thanks for the ability to sense and to feel in the body, for every sensation. Appreciating and being grateful for this mind that we have. Maybe for every thought that arises, every impulse, let it be met with gratitude. And a gratitude which is an attitude, a background attitude, by which we receive all experiences. And the times that you're pulled into thinking, distracted from here and now, to what degree is that a self-involvement, self-concerned? And all too often when we're self-concerned, there's little room to receive the gifts of life, the gifts of the spiritual life. The gifts of our practice. And self-concern all too easily interferes with an open sense of gratitude. That we receive so much more than we give. That all that keeps us alive is a gift. And as we come to the end of this sitting, to appreciate that when the mind is settled, not preoccupied, when the heart is settled and open, and when we're just sitting here at peace, calm, then there is the space in the heart, space in the mind, for greater appreciation of our life, of this moment, a greater receptivity to all that makes it possible for us to live our life. To recognize that our whole lives are built on receiving so much from others, from the world, from the natural world. And when we're settled, there's more room for gratitude, a thankfulness for all that we receive. So many people work to keep food in our kitchen, electricity on, who work in the stores where we shop, who grow the food, and everything we touch virtually that's man-made, humanly made, is something that's been made by someone for us to use, to appreciate, to interact with. The roads that were built, electrical wires connecting our homes. The list goes on and on. Things that people have done that made our life possible. To appreciate how much of our life is built on the work of other people, built on the gifts of the natural world, and to sit in gratitude. And with that open, appreciating heart, we give thanks and we give our well-wishing. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free of suffering and oppression and war, poverty. In our gratitude, may we be generous to this world. May we wish everyone well. In words, in deeds, and in thoughts. May we make this world a better place for everyone. Thank you. So I want to share with you a kind of story of gratitude that comes from one of the very significant scholars of religion, professors of religious studies in the United States, named Houston Smith. And he did a great amount of work, spending a lot of time living in different countries, entering into some of the major world religions and participating in them and studying them in a very deeply appreciative way, and having deep kind of personal relationship with people in all kinds of religions and over his very long career. And he tells the story of practicing Zen in Japan at a very strict Zen monastery, and he was there for a month, engaged in this practice, and ended with a week-long intensive Zen retreat, where you get some like 3 hours a night of sleep, very intense, and it was certainly challenging for him, and. But then at the end, when he was going to leave, he went to pay his respects to his teacher, the abbot, Goto Roshi, and he was a bit stunned by what he was told. He'd been working, it was a Rinzai monastery, he'd been working on koans, these enigmatic questions that you struggle with, and he'd been meditating a lot. And the abbot said to him, koans, these enigmatic questions, can be a useful exercise, but they are not Zen. So he thought he'd been doing Zen. And sitting in meditation, he went on, that is also not Zen. So I think Houston Smith was quite stunned and surprised, and what he'd been doing. He came to study Zen, and so much of it was meditation, intensive meditation, and these koans, and those aren't Zen. So what was he doing? And so the Zen master then said to him, "So you'll be flying home tomorrow, right?" And then he continued, "Don't overlook how many people will help you get home. Ticketing agents, pilots, cabin attendants, those who prepare your meals." He bowed, placed his palms together, and bowed in deep gratitude. Then he did this bow of gratitude to me. And he said, "Make your whole life unceasing gratitude," he said. What is Zen? Simple, simple, so simple. Infinite gratitude toward all things past, infinite service to all things present, infinite responsibility to all things future. Have a safe journey home. And he gave me a wonderful smile and said, "I'm glad you came." So here the Zen master identifies the heart of Zen with maybe with gratitude, and for all that we receive. And maybe Zen is not meditation, but maybe Buddhism is not the meditation, But meditation is what clears the heart, clears the mind, so that we can see and feel and experience this life from a place where we're not self-centered, self-preoccupied, self-concerned. So it's so easy for us to be pulled into the world of self-concern that everything is referenced in relationship to me, myself, and mine. We are thinking about ourselves. We have an attitude of self-preoccupation, an attitude of self-concern. And not just, it's reasonable to have self-concern. It's reasonable to take care of ourselves and know where we are and what's going on. But when we have an attitude of it, it means part of our mind is always preoccupied with self, always preoccupied with what's in it for me, or I'm not enough, or I'm a problem, or I deserve more, or I need to make myself safe. And there's an attitude of that's set, and a lot of emotions that are centered around this self, a cluster of preoccupations that's centered around a fundamental attitude that we carry with us, a mood or a state that's referencing everything to me, myself, and mine. And it involves tension, it involves shutting down, it involves not really being able to connect fully to the situation. And so meditation is a way to kind of quiet the self-concern, the self-preoccupation. And a lot of the reasons meditation is de-stressing is because there is less self-involvement in meditation, and so the source of stress is not operating so strongly. Unless we bring it with us into the meditation, self-concern, am I doing well enough? Am I concentrated? I need to do better. So all this game of self that goes on. So letting that selfing mind become quiet, that attitude decrease, and then it can be replaced, or it can be filled in with an attitude of gratitude. Grateful, thankful. There's a Zen saying that to move forward asserting the self is delusion. To settle back and receive all things is awakening. And there's so much that we are receiving all the time just to be alive. So many people who are working, just like maybe how many of you are working in a way that supports other people, so our lives are working to support, are supported by so many people. And every day, those of us living in, the modern United States, driving on roads, using electricity, taking water out of a tap in our kitchen, having maybe insulated homes, having heater systems in our homes, keeping it warm. All that has been put in place by countless people. The food that comes to our table has a whole series of people have contributed to bringing it from the ground up into our kitchen. And wow, there's a lot we receive. If we're self-concerned, it's easy to complain. There's not enough. We want more. It should be different. It's been said that when we have an attitude of gratitude, we can be happy anywhere. If we have an attitude of complaining, we would complain even in hell, even in heaven. That there's no so to enter into maybe this day, appreciating that the lowering of self-concern, self-preoccupation at least, where we're preoccupied, where we're not good enough, we're not enough where the situation is not enough for us, is not right for us, that for us it should be different, that quieting that. So no matter what the circumstances we are, to appreciate the goodness of it, the gift of it. Not being able to appreciate the gifts that we receive, I think makes spirituality impossible. Because the spiritual states, spiritual freedom, the awakening, the practice of mindfulness, the deepening subtleness, is really a gift. We can't demand it. We can't assert ourselves to it. We can't really use it to build up the self. Because then the beauty of this life, the beauty of our hearts, the freedom of heart, the freedom of the world, is not really available. So to see spirituality as entering into a world of gift receiving, we receive so much, and perhaps in receiving those gifts, then in the present moment, we can also give. Give our smiles, give our well-wishing, give our deep appreciation for others and who they are. And in our gratitude and appreciation, we can have a vision for a better tomorrow that we contribute to make for all of ourselves, all of us, not just ourselves. May our gratitude, may our deep appreciation help us work for a better future, a better tomorrow, no matter how difficult it gets. Let's step forward to contribute in such a way that in the future, people have reasons to be grateful for us, for what we do. So thank you very much, and I look forward to one more day on this topic of attitude. And I hope that this day goes well for you, and if you have the ability to meditate extra this day, this is a great day to turn into a mini retreat for yourself. Thank you.